Hello, it's my birthday today. I'm 66 years old. Yes, I feel like I'm 26. So I also feel like a little broken doll. The hair falling out, the nails falling out, the boobs cut off. But, like sewn back together. Today we're going to be reading Matthew 8. But first, let's read James 1:22. Because on Bible Gateway, every day they have Yes, I'm going to celebrate with some friends tonight. I'm going to sing my song, the boyfriend song, at a local place. And that'll be fun. And Betsy Johnson. How great is Betsy Johnson? That's who made this. I've never worn it before. Okay, James 1:22. But don't just listen to God's word. You must do what it says. Otherwise, you're only fooling yourselves. I'm reading this all to myself, because I guess I love performing, so it makes me read the Bible, so bear with me. Okay, so Matthew 8, New Living Translation. Large crowds followed Jesus as he came down the mountainside. Suddenly, a man with leprosy approached him and knelt before him. Lord, the man said, if you are willing, you can heal me and make me clean. Jesus reached out and touched him. I am willing, he said. Be healed. And instantly the leprosy disappeared. Then Jesus said to him, don't tell anyone about this. Instead, go to the priest and let him examine you. Take along the offering required in the law of Moses for those who have been healed of leprosy. This will be a public testimony that you have been cleansed. So I guess Jesus didn't want everyone to find out yet, because as soon as they all started finding out that he was doing miracles, that's when the local authorities got scared that Jesus would take over politically, and they killed him. But Jesus came here to die, but he first had to spread the gospel and teach us his word. So I think he might have said, don't tell anyone, because he wasn't ready for the end to begin. Just adding my 2 cents. I mean, I've had 66 years today of Bible training, and I'm still learning a lot every time I read it. I don't know everything. I don't know anything. Oh, I know some things. I know the Bible is God's word and it's true. Okay. When Jesus returned to Capernaum, however you say it, a Roman officer came and pleaded with him. Lord, my young servant lies in bed, paralyzed and in terrible pain. Jesus said, I will come and heal him. But the officer said, Lord, I am not worthy to have you come into my home. Just say the word from where you are, and my servant will be healed. I know this because I am under the authority of my superior officers, and I have authority over my soldiers. I only need to say go, and they go, or come, and they come. And if I say to my slaves, do this, they do it. When Jesus heard this, he was amazed. Turning to those who were following him, he said, I tell you the truth. I haven't seen faith like this in all Israel. And I tell you this, that many Gentiles will come from all over the world. Gentiles are non-Jews. They were pagans then. They were all worshiping idols, statues. Gentiles will come from all over the world, from east and west, and sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob at the feast in the kingdom of heaven. So he was saying, this isn't just for the Jews, Israel, that's my genealogy, but this good news is for everyone in the world. But many Israelites, those for whom the kingdom was prepared, will be thrown into outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So he, he came through the line of Abraham, but a lot of Jews don't believe in the Messiah being Jesus. Then Jesus said to the Roman officer, "Go back home. Because you believed, it has happened." And the young servant was healed that same hour. When Jesus arrived at Peter's house, Peter's mother-in-law was sick in bed with a high fever. But when Jesus touched her hand, the fever left her. Then she got up and prepared a meal for him. That evening, many demon-possessed people were brought to Jesus. He cast out the evil spirits with a simple command, and he healed all the sick. This fulfilled the word of the Lord through the prophet Isaiah, who said, "He took our sicknesses and removed our diseases." That's a prophecy in the Old Testament. There's a lot of prophecies that Jesus fulfilled, which proves he was the Messiah. When Jesus saw the crowd around him, he instructed his disciples to cross to the other side of the lake. Then one of the teachers of religious law said to him, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus replied, "Foxes have dens to live in and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place even to lay his head." Another of his disciples said, "Lord, first let me return home and bury my father." Jesus told him, "Follow me now. Let the spiritually dead bury their own dead." In the King James, it says, "Let the dead bury their own dead." But in this translation, it says, "Let the spiritually dead bury their own dead." So I think he's kind of saying, if you're going to follow me, you'll always have excuses. Like, wait till I'm done having fun and then I'll follow the Lord or something. I don't know. Then Jesus got into the boat and started across the lake with his disciples. Suddenly, a fierce storm struck the lake with waves breaking into the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him up, shouting, "Lord, save us, we're going to drown." And Jesus responded, "Why are you afraid? You have so little faith." Then he got up and rebuked the wind and waves, and suddenly there was great calm. So he's doing all these miracles. Word is going to start spreading. The disciples were amazed. "Who is this man?" they asked. "Even the winds and waves obey him." And this book was written by Matthew, a disciple. And the Gospels, 3 of the 4, are eyewitness accounts. When Jesus arrived, you guys correct me if I make mistakes when I'm talking, okay? When Jesus arrived on the other side of the lake in the region of the Gadarenes, 2 men who were possessed by demons met him. They came out of the tombs and were so violent that no one could go through that area. They began screaming at him, "Why are you interfering with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torture us before God's appointed time?" That's how demons talk. There happened to be, "Have you come here to torture us before God's appointed time?" So the demons and Satan know that they're going to hell forever because God said so. There happened to be a large herd of pigs feeding in the distance. So the demons begged, "If you cast us out, send us into that herd of pigs." If you cast us out, send us into that herd of pigs. I've heard that demons have to have a host body, like have to have a living vessel to be in. And I've also heard that that's why it's bad to just meditate and empty your mind, like in yoga or whatever, and have an empty mind, because that opens you up for demons to come in. When you meditate, you should meditate on God's word and on Jesus and talking to him and being with him, God, Jehovah, Yahweh. Not just open your mind and let any old thing come in. So the demons wanted something to go into if he was going to cast them out of the men. And so the demons came out of the men and entered the pigs, and the whole herd plunged down the steep hillside into the lake and drowned in the water. The herdsmen fled to the nearby town, telling everyone what happened to the demon-possessed men. And then the entire town came out to meet Jesus, but they begged him to go away and leave them alone. Interesting. I guess they didn't want their demons cast out. Some people want Jesus and some people don't. And so I will take my birthday dress and we will read Genesis 8. We're going to be on that. Goodbye, Bible readers.